Students, today we'll discuss the derivations related to the nozzles. So we have already studied the different types of nozzles, which may be convergent, divergent, and the third one is convergent divergent nozzles. So to find the velocity of steam through the nozzles, we will assume some factors first, which are this velocity at inlet. Let us take it as C1 in meter per second, at outlet as C2, then enthalpy at inlet as H1 and enthalpy at outlet as H2. So from the steady flow energy equation, as we have already studied this in the third semester, we have H1 plus GZ1 plus C1 square by 2 plus QS, which is the heat supplied, is equal to H2 plus GZ2 plus C2 square by 2 plus WS. So equation, GZ1 and GZ2 are cancelled because we are not taking the level difference. That means the nozzle is considered to be horizontal. Then no heat is supplied, no heat is rejected, and hence this QS is 0. And no shaft is connected, hence the shaft work is also taken as 0. The rest of things are summed as this. So we get H1 minus H2 is equal to C2 square by 2 minus C1 square by 2. The inlet velocity of steam to the nozzle is neglected as compared to the outlet velocity, as it is very low as compared to the outlet velocity, which is the increased velocity due to the pressure drop, and the inlet velocity is the steam which is coming from the boiler. So the inlet is neglected in some cases, and if it will be given in the question, then we can consider it, and the formula will have the C1 also. Neglecting the velocity, we get the formula as C2 square by 2 is equal to H1 minus H2. Now from the steam tables we get this H1 and H2 in kilojoules per kg. Hence for the calculation of C2, we have multiplied this by 1000, and this can be directly put in kilojoules per kg. So if these values H1 and H2 are put in kilojoules per kg, then C2 becomes 44.72 under root of H1 minus H2, and we'll get the C2 in meter per second. Now, as we know that the nozzle follows PV to the power n is equal to constant. Basically, this is from, as we have seen that the process in the nozzle will be adiabatic, as no heat will be supplied and no heat will be rejected from the nozzle, and hence PV to the power gamma is equal to constant should be followed. But gamma is for air, and we have steam in the nozzle. We are discussing about steam and gas nozzles. Hence the n will depend on the type of the fluid which is used. So by the experimental calculations, n has been found to be 1.135 for saturated, 1.3 for superheated, and for the wet steam we can calculate it by using the dryness fraction x. Now as we know that the work done during the a process which is polytropic, with the formula as PV to the power n is equal to constant, is given by work done is equal to n upon n minus 1 into P1 V1 minus P2 V2, where P1 and V1 are the pressure and temperature at inlet, and P2 and V2 are the pressure and temperature and outlet in the nozzle. So the work done basically in the nozzle is due to the loss of enthalpy, and with the losses which are taking place in the nozzle are considered zero, then this loss of enthalpy will be equal to the work done in the from the nozzle. So we have equated these two, and this work done is equated to the enthalpy loss, which is H1 minus H2. And as we have already seen that H1 minus H2 is equal to C2 square by 2. This is from equation, you can see from the above equations. Now this C2 square by 2 is summed as this. We have taken P1 V1 as constant and the rest is inside, and we have named this as equation 2. And then as per the formula for polytropic process, P1 V1 to the power n is equal to P2 V2 to the power n. We have isolated this P2 by P1, obtained this V1 upon V2, and we basically need the value of V2 by V1 in the terms of P1, P2 and n, and hence we get this, and we name this as equation 3. So now we have to put this value of V2 by V1 into this equation of C2 square by 2. So we are putting the value of V2 by V1 from equation 3 into equation 2, and we get this. Here we have put the value, and while calculating this we get the formula as this. So C2 can be written as under root of 2 n upon n minus 1 P1 V1 into 1 minus P2 by P1 raised to the power n minus 1 upon n, and we give the name 4 to this equation. So now for calculating the mass discharge through the nozzle, as we know that mass flow rate is given by rho AC, where rho is the density and it can be written as the reciprocal of the specific volume. So the mass flow rate can be written as area into velocity upon the specific volume. For the section 2, which may be the exit of the nozzle, the throat of the nozzle, or any other section of the nozzle, we have taken it as exit in the current derivation. So m dot, the mass discharge will be at the section 2 will be A2 C2 upon V2. Now from the equation 3, V2 can be written as we have taken this from here. So V2 can be written as V1 we are taking here. So V1 into P1 upon P2 raised to the power 1 upon n, and same is written here. We have named this as equation 6. So now putting the value of C2 from the equation 4. So equation 4 is this one. Fine. And V2 from equation 6. So V2 from equation this 6 into equation 5. What is equation 5? This is equation 5, right? So m dot is obtained as this. C2 की value ये है, and this is the V. Putting these values, we get this thing. And now we have taken some steps, like we have taken this to the in the numerator, and this V1 as already A2 by V1 यहाँ से आ गया, and then we have powers, and we have got this one, and then finally we get m dot as this, and we have named this as equation 7. Now for having the maximum mass flow rate through the nozzle, we will calculate a term which will be known as critical pressure, and the critical pressure is the pressure ratio which is for the pressure at exit to the, or the pressure at throat to the pressure at inlet, and this is known as critical pressure ratio. To get the expression for the same, we will differentiate the expression for mass flow rate with respect to the pressure ratio, or critical to find the critical pressure ratio P2 by P1, and equate it to 0, obviously for the maximization purpose. So I have differentiated this. You can do it yourself first, and then you can see over here from the video, and then we get this by putting this equal to 0. This is basically the mathematical steps. You can go through this. Now all this is cancelled, and finally we get P2 upon P1 is equal to 2 upon n plus 1 raised to the power n upon n minus 1, and this is the critical pressure ratio for the nozzle. If you do not understand anything during these calculations, then you can contact me. Now just calculating the pressure ratios for different types of steam. For, as we know that for saturated steam n is equal to 1.135, so we get P2 by P1 is equal to 0.58, and for superheated it is 1.3, and hence we get P2 by P1 is equal to 0.546, and for the wet steam it will be based on the value of n, which will be obtained by using the value of x. Now for the maximum discharge, right now we have seen the condition for maximum discharge, but for having the maximum discharge, we have to put the value of this critical pressure ratio which we have obtained in the formula for the mass flow rate. So putting the value of critical pressure ratio from equation 8 into equation 7. So equation 8 is this one, and equation 7 is this one, which was the general expression for the mass flow rate. So putting these values, we get this expression, and solving this through these multiple steps, we finally get this m max is equal to this one. In these particular mathematical steps, if you'll face any problem, then contact me. Now similarly, as we have calculated this maximum mass flow rate corresponding to the critical pressure ratio, we will also need to calculate the velocity corresponding to this critical pressure ratio. So velocity C2 corresponding to the critical pressure ratio will be obtained by putting the value of P2 by P1 from equation 8 into equation 4. Equation 4 is the value of C2 in terms of others, which we have calculated earlier in this video. Now putting the value of P2 by P1 is equal to 2 upon n plus 1 raised to the power n upon n minus 1, which is the critical pressure ratio, we get this thing, and now solving these steps, we get the C max as 2 into n upon n plus 1 into P1 V1. So this is all about the derivation of the flow of steam through the nozzles, the velocity at exit or throat, the mass flow rate, the general formula of the two, and then the derivation continued towards the maximized for obtaining the maximum mass flow rate, and then having the expression for maximum mass flow rate as well as the velocity at the critical pressure ratio. So thank you all. Now we'll discuss the effect of friction on the nozzle and supersaturated flow in the next video. Thank you so much.